Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So this look is inspired by my Christmas tree, actually. This past weekend, my husband and I were able to go Christmas tree hunting with my sister-in-law and her husband and their little baby, and it was so fun. So we have a gorgeous, fresh Christmas tree in our living room, and I decorated it the other night, and I'm just obsessed with it. It's my favorite. I wish I could keep my Christmas tree up all year round. It makes me so happy. But I really wanted to try out a green smoky eye. I've never done this color green on my eyes before, and I was super intimidated, but I must say I really like how it turned out, so I hope you guys do too. This is a look I'm going to be showing you how to create today. Before we get into this tutorial, as always, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and join the family. If you're already subscribed and you want to be notified every time I upload, make sure to click on the bell so you can become part of the notification squad and you'll be notified every single time I post. By the way, you guys, my 100K giveaway is still open. I have 2 winners and amazing prizes, so if you haven't checked that out yet, I will go ahead and link it in the description box below and you can enter. But yeah, if you guys want to see how I got this look inspired by my Christmas tree, then just keep watching. So I've already filled in my brows off camera. I used the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade number 4, and then I used this concealer from Maybelline. I've loved this to carve out my brows. I don't know why, but this is like what I go to. I just like the color, I think, and the formula is really great too. It's like the perfect consistency. It is the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Concealer. Mine is in the shade Ivory. So every time I do a bold eye, I always love to start with the eyes, and then that way we can wipe off the fallout underneath the eyes. So to prep, I'm going to first go in with the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. This is going to really help prep and prime the eyelid and get it ready for eyeshadow. I did already apply a eye cream to the eyelid just because sometimes if my eyelids look too dry, this product will accentuate it. So I made sure that it was pretty hydrated, and I'm just applying this with my finger all over the eyelid. I'm going to take my Rimmel Stay Matte Translucent Powder, and I'm going to use this to kind of set the soft ochre paint pot so that it's nice and powdery and prepped for eyeshadow. For this look, I'm going to be using the Jaclyn Hill palette, which I'm so excited about because it's been a really long time since I've used this in a tutorial and I love it. And I've actually never ever used these green shades. I've swatched them before, but I'm going to be playing with these shades today and I'm really nervous. I'm really excited. Hopefully this turns out how I hope it will. We will see. Starting off with this shade right here. I'm going to use this as our transition shade. So I'm just going to start in the crease. And then I'm going to blend it up toward the brow and out toward the end of the brow a little bit. Just really taking my time to blend out this shadow and just working in layers until I get the pigmentation and payoff that I want. And I do love to bring the color into this inner corner right here. I just like the dimension that it adds. So next I'm just going to go for it. I'm going into the dark green shade right here. I'm going to start with less and then work my way up and build up the color, but I'm going to start with this on the outer third of the eye, pressing it and blending it up into the crease. And I'm actually going to keep the center a little bit untouched. So I'm going to add the dark green into this inner corner here, and then really lightly start to blend it up into the crease. And like I said, we're going to work in layers, so I'm adding a little bit more to the outer third of the eye. I'm not going to bring it in as much as I did before, and really work it into the crease here. I'm just taking my time. Since this is a little bit more of an intense color, I'm really gonna just be patient with it and spend time blending it out. I'm gonna go back into that transition shade brush with a little bit of the transition shade and just run it over the crease again to help soften that up a little. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop into the shade right next to that dark green. I'm going to take my Sigma E55 eye shading brush. I'm going to get a pretty decent amount of that shadow. Then I'm going to spray some setting spray on it. And I'm going to pack this on the center of the lid. All the way up to the crease. Man, that's a pretty color. Just taking that brush that we were using with the darker green earlier and blending it out, and then I'm taking the other brush right above it just to make sure these edges are really, really blended. So now I'm going to recreate this on this eye, and then we will go from there. I want to add a little bit of gold, so I'm going to take this beautiful gold color, and with just a smaller brush, I'm going to do that same thing where I dip the brush into the pan and then spray it with some setting spray. And this color, I'm going to focus directly in the center of the lid. We're going to kind of make like a Christmas tree shape with the gold. I'm just kind of tapering it up to the crease in a really subtle like triangle shape. I'm taking the brush that had the green shimmer shade that we used in the center of the lid and just pressing it on the edges of the gold so it blends in. Then I'm taking that crease brush and just blending everything through the crease again. So now I'm taking this color right here And I want a little more warmth in this transition, so I'm lightly dusting it over the transition shade just to make it slightly more warm. It's all about layers. So I'm going back in with the brush that I used with the matte green shade, just making sure that everything kind of looks even on both eyes. It doesn't have to be perfect, but as good as you can get it. So next I'm going to be taking my Tarteist Double Take Eyeliner. I'm going to use the liquid end, and I'm going to line the eyes with this. And I'm kind of keeping it close to the lash line because I don't want any of that gold to go away. I don't have that much lid space when I open my eyes, so I like to keep the eyeliner thin sometimes when I do a halo eye. And I can't decide if I want to do a wing yet, so I'm just going to leave it like that. So now I'm going to take my makeup wipe and clean up all the fallout that we may have had, as well as shape up the edges of the eyeshadow here. I have like glitter fallout from a look I made yesterday. There's still like glitter in my eyelashes. I'm just taking my finger and patting over the line that we created. So for primer, I'm going to go into the BareMinerals Combo Control Primer. I really actually like this. I haven't paid too much attention to how it makes my makeup last, but I love how it feels on the skin and I love how it looks after I'm done with my makeup. So I'm just going to apply this all over the skin. And for foundation, I'm going to be using the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Stick Foundation. So I'm just going to blend this out with a brush first. This one is from IT Cosmetics. And then I'm adding more where I want more coverage, which is usually around the jawline. That's where I get redness. And I'm going to just press this in with my beauty blender. For concealer, I'm going to be using my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. I think I'm going to mix the shades light and fair, but I'm going to start off with light. I'm just going to apply this under the eyes, as well as down the center of the face. And then I am actually going to mix in a little bit of the fair shade right on top, just to add a little brightness. And I'm just going to blend that out with the same beauty blender. So before we powder any areas of the face, I'm going to cream contour using the Benefit Hoola Quickie Contour Stick. I just shared this with you guys in my favorites video, but I've loved this recently. I just warm it up on the back of my hand first. And then I take a little brush, and I use this in just kind of pressing motions to create dimension and to bronze the skin. Taking what's left around the jawline and then doing the same thing on this side. And then I like to bounce the beauty blender on top of the contour to make sure it blends in with the foundation and concealer. So now I'm going to powder the under eyes. I'm taking quite a bit of the NYX HD finishing powder in the shade Banana, and I'm going to kind of pack this under the eye and down the sides of the nose a little bit. And the reason why I'm applying so much of this right now is because we're still doing the under eye, and because we're using dark colors, if I add a little extra powder right now, it's easier to sweep that away later if there is some fallout. I'm just adding a little bit of powder down the center of the face as well. Just a little bit for now, we can add more later. So now let's go back into the Jaclyn Hill palette. We're just gonna kind of follow the same pattern as before. So I'm gonna start off with this shade right here, and I'm going to start by applying this on the lower lash line. And I'm really blending this out and underneath the green shadow here. Next, I'm gonna be taking that dark green matte shadow that we used on the top lid. And I'm going to start by pressing it right underneath the areas where we applied it on the upper lid. And I'm just taking a really small definer brush and smoking that out. So now I'm taking that green shimmery shade on a small wet definer brush, and I'm going to buff this on the lower lash line as well. I'm just wiping off the green shadow on a towel over here. I'm just going to use that same brush to dip into the gold, and this is what we're applying right in the center. Now I'm just taking a small brush with a little bit of that same transition shade that we used first, and I'm really just blending out the edges with that. So now I'm just going to take a fluffy brush and dust away the translucent powder underneath the eyes. I don't know if I'm going to do a wing liner. I just feel like I kind of like the shape of the shadow, so I might leave it as is. Now I'm just taking the NYX HD Banana powder, and I'm just pressing this all over the skin to set it. So I'm going to further bronze up the skin with the Milani Baked Bronzer. This is such a pretty bronzer. I've used it in several tutorials now. I'm just going to take that on a fluffy brush and just sweep it across the perimeters of the face. I love the finish of this bronzer. It's got kind of like a golden sheen, so it's going to make the skin look really healthy, and I felt like it would really complement the golden eyes. without being too much. I always hop all over the place. I'm gonna go in with mascara now. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous Million Lashes Mascara. I love this. I've been using it so much lately, and I'm going to apply 2 coats to the top and bottom lashes. I've never worn this color green on my eyes before, and I must say, I really like it. It's a lot more wearable than I thought it would be. Like, those were some of the most intimidating colors out of the Jaclyn Hill palette, but I honestly feel like it's way more wearable than I expected. Just getting off a little mascara that I got on my eye. So while the mascara dries, I'm gonna hop into blush. The blush that I thought would be perfect for this look is the Balm Beach blush. I love this. This is probably one of my all-time favorite blushes, just because it's so neutral. It goes with every look. It's not too much. I'm just going to press this on the cheeks. It complements seriously every look. I'm just taking a little of the Too Faced matte bronzer to contour my nose, because the other bronzer I used was shimmery, just for a little definition. I wasn't planning on using this bronzer in this tutorial, but I might just press some of it around the hairline since I've got it out, just because I really don't want to look washed out with this smoky eye, so extra bronzer is not a bad idea. I'm going to apply false lashes for this look. I'm using the Ardell Demi Wispies. I'm pretty sure they're Demi Wispies. All it says is 120 Demi. These look pretty similar to the Kiss lashes that I've been obsessed with, but the Kiss lashes are actually like a little bit more natural in color. Like, they have a little bit more brown in it, which I really like. For this look, I really wanted them to be black, so I'm grabbing these. Just because the eyeshadow's a little darker, I wanted that dimension, and I wanted the lashes to be able to stick out. So now I'm gonna take an olive green eyeliner. I recently picked this up. This is from Stila. It's the Smudge Stick waterproof eyeliner in the shade Murray. And again, I'm gonna do this off camera. It's a gorgeous like olive eyeliner, and it has a little bit of green glitter, so I thought it would really complement this look. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this in the inner waterline. So for highlighter, I thought this would be perfect. This is the Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter in Molten Gold. And I'm just going to take this on a tapered highlighting brush and apply it to the high points of the face, down the center of the face, Cupid's bow, chin, and a little above the brows. So before I do lips, I'm going to quickly set the face with the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. I'm going to focus the setting spray on the outer parts of the face and leave the center bare. And that just kind of helps the outside stay a little more dewy and the center stay more matte. So that eyeliner that I used in the waterline like disappeared. Maybe it's not meant for the waterline. That was my first time trying it in the waterline, so maybe a different green eyeliner would work better for the waterline. I'm gonna line the lips with the L'Oreal Color Riche Matte Lip Liner in the shade 114 Matting Call. So I'm gonna start by lining the lips with this. And I think I'm gonna use this lipstick. I have like a million in front of me. I couldn't pick. This is from Estee Lauder. It's in the shade 125 Nude Colt. I think it's gonna be really pretty with this look, so let's try it. Yes. So I love the finish of that lipstick, but I think I want it a little more glossy in the center. So I'm gonna be using the Estee Lauder Pure Color Envy Shameless Glow Lip Gloss. Just adding that to the center of the lips. Just taking a little of that translucent powder, the NYX Banana Powder, going over some of my nose contour. Before I forget, I'm going to set the brows with the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. Guys, I like filmed the outro and intro, and I realized the most important thing. I didn't do an inner corner highlight, so I'm going to add the Maybelline Master Chrome Highlighter into the inner corner. Can't believe I almost forgot that. And then I'm taking the extra right underneath the brow. Alright you guys, so that completes this makeup look, this evergreen smoky eye inspired by my Christmas tree. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, before you leave, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up if you guys like seeing tutorials with the Jaclyn Hill palette still. I love that palette and there's so many looks I can create with it. So let me know if you'd like to see more, and I will see you all in my next video. Love you. Bye!